Starting things off at number 10, we got David Dobrik. It seems the term used in this poll was unfavorable, but the reality is they don't like the person. Very nice way of saying that. And given Dobrik's recent few months of accusations, lost sponsorships, and friends, well, as we know, he's been going through it. His 2 apologies did not go as planned, and now with the most recent video dropped by Jeff Wittick appearing to show David almost killing him in the accident, has even more people calling out Dobrik. So if this poll was redone today, with all that's currently happening, it's quite possible Dobrik would be higher up on the list. That being said, it seems those who know who he is, which I'd say is close to the majority of those surveyed, 46% said he was unfavorable. As I mentioned, Jeff's video dropped about 12 hours ago, maybe less, at the time of this recording, so we need to see how things play out moving forward. That being said, people have already started commenting on David's most recent video yet again, calling him out for almost killing Jeff, as they put it in the comments. At number 9, we got Shane Dawson. Are we really all that surprised? Maybe he should have been higher because he had a rough year. Then again, he didn't post this year yet, so I get why he wouldn't be as hated. Either way, of those surveyed, 23% knew who Shane was, and 48% of them were not fans. As in, they voted unfavorable because they disliked the guy. Now, it's pretty wild that given Shane has been out of the spotlight for almost a year now, people are still willing to say they dislike him more than other YouTubers, currently involving themselves in ongoing controversies or drama. That being said, I understand why people wouldn't be the biggest fan of Shane due to his past controversy. Although some are willing to move on, it's clear many aren't. More on that later with another YouTuber who had a little past issue. Number 8, the Ace family. Again, like others on this list, the Ace family, I'd say more specifically Austin and maybe Catherine, because the kids don't know what's going on. It's not like they make the videos. Either way, they have gotten into controversies in the past. There was an old clip of Austin buying his younger cousin a lollipop that looked like a male's area, I'll say. There was another time he said some of his fans were ungrateful for the free content they put out, and that they should pay for the content, which led to backlash among a handful of other past and present dramas. It seems only 13% of those surveyed knew the Ace family, likely because of Austin, and gave an unfavorable rating of 50%. Oh boy. Now on to number 7, we got Lovely Peaches. Yeah, this one, if you know her, and if you don't, well, you got no idea who she is or why she's problematic, and you probably want to leave it that way. A lot to unpack for you guys, and you may need to do some of your own research because, like I said, it's a lot. Either way, on this survey, 9% knew who she was, and 50% of them found her unfavorable. I really can't get into the numerous things that she's claimed to do or been accused of, but let's say it's some of the most disgusting, awful things you could do. Unfortunately, on the internet, especially with these entertainers, it's tough to know what's real and what's not, but given that she was recently arrested back in January of 2021, it seems one of her last stunts was very real and very cruel. Again, unfortunately, can't say too much, but if you guys look it up, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It's awful. Number 6, we got Jeffree Star, the beauty guru who has been accused of so many things I can't speak about, as well as bribing, inappropriate touching, racism. I mean, you guys know. He lands at number 6, which is actually where he landed on Insider's 2020 most disliked YouTuber poll. That being said, it seems he improved, as 28% of those surveyed knew who he was, which is up from the 23% last year. All right, so he's getting the brand out there, that's good. In regards to dislikes, 52% of those who knew him were unfavorable, which is actually down 4% from last year, so a bit of a silver lining there, but I mean, still pretty rough. That being said, it's quite evident that Star has been able to maintain an incredibly loyal fan base, and people are willing to forgive and forget, as over the years, he's still maintained his brand over numerous cancellations. You gotta say, regardless of how you feel, Star is definitely a fighter. Now, halfway at 5, Zoe Laverne. I feel like you guys are gonna think I despise this girl because I've brought her up in lists before, but this time, it's not even my doing. The people have voted, so let's hear what they had to say. Although only 6% of those surveyed knew her, 52% of them disliked her, which leaves her in the same spot as last year. For those of you unaware, Zoe was first caught talking about Charli D'Amelio, which in itself is a crime. You talk about Charli, and it's like, canceled, done. Then there was a whole controversy because she, I quote, caught feelings for one of her fans, a fellow TikToker, Connor Joyce. Issue is Joyce is 13 and Zoe is 19, and they got very close, and at one point, well, in the heat of the moment, did something they probably shouldn't have. Now, I don't want to make it seem like it's something that it wasn't. It was just a quick peck, a little kiss on the lips, as far as I'm concerned, but the fact that Zoe and then her mom tried to defend it and the entire situation, well, that was just wild to me. And it seems like others feel the same way, which is why she ranks so high, or low. 5 is pretty high on the list of top 10 worst. I guess 1's being the worst, you know? Bringing us to number 4, we got Keemstar. Now, you guys may or may not know Keem from Drama Alert. Given that he's a drama channel, well, sometimes he says things that upsets people and then they make a YouTube video about it. Now, other times, Keem does say or do things that people feel are unwarranted or even controversial. it seems he does have an incredibly loyal fan base, as seen with his somewhat recent back and forths with Ethan Klein of H3H3. That being said, as we know, K-pop stans are like no other, and as Keem recently made some controversial comments, well, it seems he's become much more disliked over the last few months specifically, at least as per those being surveyed. 10% knew who he was, and 57% of them found him to be unfavorable. Oh boy. As per Insider, this is up 10% from the last survey. So yikes, he really pissed off some people. Now on to number 3, we got Logan Paul. Now, as I've said before, I think Logan has genuinely changed for the better and his content shows. That being said, some people still aren't willing to forgive him for his actions back in 2017, which honestly I respect, to each their own. However, it doesn't seem he's been involved in much controversy as of the last few years, with maybe his biggest dramas being losing to KSI or calling out Floyd Mayweather. He's launched a successful podcast, and the whole Pokemon obsession thing has him going good for him, as well as a recent move to Puerto Rico. However, of the 38% who knew him, 64% still feel he's unfavorable. The silver lining here is last year only 31% of those surveyed knew him, and 68% found him unfavorable. I can't confirm whether or not they survey the same people every year, but regardless, he's gained notoriety and gotten more favorable from the year prior. That being said, he's got work to do, because 64% is like, ooh, yikes, it's bad. But not as bad as number 2. At number 2, Jake Paul. The younger and much more controversial brother of Logan Paul, I genuinely feel like Jake is a villain in the WWE. I know a lot of people dislike him and all, but at the end of the day, I think he's not half the person he plays on to be. I mean, he's an entertainer. I think behind the scenes he tones it down, but I could be wrong. And of course, with the recent accusations made against him, well, although he's denied it and claims he'll be pursuing legal action, we need to see how things play out here. As of now, it appears there's no updates, and it's probably being handled in courts, which is why everything's being kept under wraps. That being said, him calling COVID a hoax, being in a mall while people were looting it, throwing parties during a lockdown, I mean, there's so many reasons why people wouldn't like this guy. Last year, he was known by 30% of those surveyed and apparently disliked by 71%. Ouch. This year, he was known by 34% of people and unfavorable to 67% of them. Still, ouch. And with his most recent knockout, I don't know if he has more fans or haters. I don't know. And number 1, Onision. Really want to just call him Onion. I think that'd just be better. Real name James Jackson. Onion over here has been accused of so many awful things I unfortunately can't say, but they include messing with people both mentally and physically, as well as actually filming himself doing pretty awful things to people and telling them no one will ever know. Chris Hansen even took part of a Discovery Plus documentary to actually look into the numerous allegations made against Onision, and it led to not only his YouTube channel being demonetized, but apparently a lot more people disliking him. Both surveys show that only 7% knew who he was, but last time around he was unfavorable by 59%. This time he was disliked by 75%. And for good reason.
Coming in number 10, Nicole Arbour. Why this woman is still allowed online after her Dear Fat People video is beyond me. Nicole Arbour doesn't have a political point that's ever worth listening to, and she only ever falls to the side that supports her the most. During the riots, she fell right into the laps of white supremacists as she spouted some pretty wild things from her Facebook and Twitter pages. Amongst telling people to arm themselves and shoot, she also tweeted that white people were being lynched in broad daylight, then goes on to say that they don't want change, they want to even a score from a game played by people none of us have ever met before, which is just the most tone-deaf way to look at these protests. Plus, by saying they want to even the score, you're simultaneously admitting that the score is uneven. Someone please get her off YouTube now. Coming in number 9, J Station. With close to 6 million subscribers, J Station had cultivated a massive audience over the years of people that really love to get scared by his content. Now, clearly all of his videos were pre-planned, but that really didn't seem to matter. At one point in time, people really did love his content, although as time went on, he never really grew with his viewers. The thumbnails had more clickbait, the titles were bizarre, and not too long ago, he actually faked the death of his girlfriend. Oddly enough though, they just had started a channel together, but for whatever reason he coerced her into making a video to fake her own death. People honestly had no idea if he was telling the truth or not until she made a video exposing him and his manipulation. It would have been bad enough had he had just made that video, but then he monetized a video about her resurrection. It was all very bizarre, and from that he lost a ton of subscribers. YouTube though seemingly has taken down his channel, but who knows how long it'll be before he's back up and running again. Coming in number 8, David Dobrik. I think everyone is capable of learning from their mistakes, but for David Dobrik it's going to be a while before people are willing to watch his content. Something about the way that he reacted to the initial story involving Durte Dom has just left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth. This incident may have even soiled the idea of having a vlog squad type group. With so many personalities and constantly walking that line of reality and entertainment, something is bound to go wrong. David did say in his second apology video that he would be taking a break from social media, but that he also loved creating content. So you know he will be just patiently waiting for this bad press to blow over before he comes back to YouTube. Although Although in our opinion, he should probably just stay on Facebook because his videos there seem to be doing some serious numbers, and for whatever reason, people on Facebook just do not care what he has done. Coming in number 7, Jeffree Star. Jeffree Star has been a problem on the internet since MySpace, so that just gives you a little bit of an idea of how long he's been creating content for. He thrives on controversy, and when the beauty guru drama started, it only exposed just how involved he was with stirring the pot. Some of Star's former friends, peers, and associates have all exposed him for being physically and at times sexually abusive towards others at the height of his MySpace fame. Yes, MySpace fame was actually a thing. Insider.com had also done a lot of digging into these allegations. During their investigation, they obtained text messages exchanged between the victims and the alleged abuser Jeffree Star. The sources cited that there was a $10,000 offer made by Star for them to retract their allegations. And there was also another accuser and 2 other people who witnessed Jeffree grope men around him without their consent. A total of 5 people even said that they personally witnessed Jeffree use a close-range stun gun or other tasing devices to hurt and intimidate those around him. Regardless, not only did this controversy open up more information about his abusiveness, but it also proved that he was paying people to stay quiet about it. And for that, we think he needs to leave YouTube. Coming in number 6, Jake Paul. Jake Paul is another YouTuber that has used controversy to propel his career from being a Disney actor to one of the most hated creators on YouTube. His first real controversy even got him fired from the Disney show Bizarre Vark in 2017 after his West Hollywood neighbors claimed that he turned their block into a war zone, which was then followed by the video of him jumping on that news van. Then following that, he found himself in deeper trouble for scamming his younger fans on more than one occasion. He really is someone that you can tell doesn't recognize or appreciate the support that he has been getting on the platform. Despite trying to scam people, despite being investigated by the FBI, despite coming under fire for using slurs and posting inappropriate videos for his younger fans, Jake Paul just still continues to upload. Coming in number 5, Tana Mongeau. Now, Tana has had an unstable relationship with her fans for quite some time now. Whether you hated her for allegations of racism or her bizarre marriage to Jake Paul, there always seemed to be something. More recently, Tana went through 2 surges of mass attention from the internet. The first was her very notable switch to OnlyFans content, which was only followed by her Booty for Biden campaign. A controversy all on its own after many accused her of engaging in electoral fraud. This campaign basically stated that she would send nudes to Americans that showed proof they had voted for Joe Biden. Although none of that has to do with why we think Tana should be leaving YouTube. Fans recently have noted a very big shift in the way that Tana has been creating content on YouTube specifically. Previously, she was well known for more wacky storyline content that involved other creators telling wild stories from their lives. Now it appears Tana has shifted to a more vlog-oriented type of content featuring her friends. And a lot of people though just felt that the videos now were very disingenuous, and to many the only option is to switch back to what she was doing before or just quit YouTube altogether. Their opinion, not mine. Coming in number 4, Olivia Jade. Olivia Jade is a YouTube personality and daughter of actress Lori Loughlin. Olivia nearly has 2 million subscribers on her page and primarily posts vlog videos relating to beauty, fashion, and lifestyle. Although more recently she was tangled in a web of lies after her parents tried to bribe the college admissions at UCSC to accept her and her sister. More embarrassing than that is that all the photos that were released of her on a rowing machine were all staged just so that she could get into the school. They believed they could somehow make it appear as though they got into a university on a sports scholarship. Then these photos of her on the rowing machine came out and everyone started ridiculing her for them. All of this information was released when Olivia's father ran into an issue. According to the court documents, when a counselor at his daughter's school told USC during a routine call about applicants that they had no knowledge of her involvement in the rowing team and highly doubted the possibility based on what they knew of her video blogging schedule. And all I can do with this one is just shake my head because some celebrities really think that they can just double dip in life without getting caught. So Olivia, maybe take a break from YouTube for a bit. Coming in number 3, James Charles. Last week, James Charles released an apology video in response to the allegations that he had exchanged inappropriate messages with people. Typically in a James Charles apology video, he shifts the blame from himself, but James full-on admitted to his mistakes. He admitted to having engaged in a flirtatious conversation with 2 16-year-olds. Once from last year and again just recently, which was exposed all over TikTok. Although he is still standing by the defense that he believed both people were 18 years old at the time. However, if we are going to be transparent with James Charles' intentions, then I would be remiss if I didn't mention that this apology came after he was replaced on the YouTube TV show that he co-created called Instant Influencer. With repeated allegations of inappropriate sexual behavior, it's safe to say that most people just want to see James Charles quit YouTube. Coming in number 2, the Stokes Twins. These two really blow my mind as to how they can continue to make content on YouTube. We had such a hard time in regards to just reacting to prank videos on our other channels, and yet the Stokes Twins have been a menace to society but somehow are still allowed to post. If you recall, back in 2019, they filmed themselves staging a series of bank heists. In one of the videos, they were all black and ran away with big duffel bags stuffed with cash. At one point, they decided to get into an Uber, but a witness who thought it was a carjacking called the police. Then that poor Uber driver was ordered out of his car at gunpoint by the police because they believed that he was involved in the crime. Orange County District Attorney Todd Spitzer even said, "These crimes could have easily resulted in someone someone being seriously hurt or killed, which is the reason why they need to quit YouTube. They clearly care so much about the views that they are willing to put innocent people in dangerous situations. I mean, enough is enough. Last but certainly least on our number one spot, Durte Dom. This Durte Dom character had been shaped and molded as part of David Dobrik's vlog squad, which often featured videos that bordered on reality TV, improv, and situational comedy. For years they had built a joke around Dom's character that he was this sex addict, but little did they realize just how far he would take things. In the since deleted vlog video titled "She Should Not Have Played with Fire," Dobrik filmed Dom's victim as she entered a bedroom with him, then uploaded the footage as some sort of threesome plotline just a few days later. The traumatizing and unfortunate part was that the woman seen in the vlog was actually sexually assaulted by Dom. In addition to that, she claimed that the group fed her and her friends alcohol despite them being underage. The allegations are clear. His own friends have turned on him and condemned what he did, but for some reason his YouTube page is still active.
Coming at number 10, Lilly Singh. Her channel has garnered nearly 15 million subscribers, and her tagline is comedy, inspiration, and good vibes. Well, if that were the case, then why do we only get bad vibes from this now hated YouTuber? Many fans of Lilly were with her in her earlier days, but as they began to grow up, they soon realized that Lilly is not evolving with them. A lot of her common complaints are that her content has become rather stale in the past year. Combine that with a more arrogant attitude now that she has a late show, and you begin to have fans jumping ship. No one likes watching someone that feels ungrateful for what they have, and even worse, no one likes watching her deliver hacky, tired monologue jokes on Late Night with Lilly Singh. Plus, her mom and dad character should have been retired early on in her career. It feels like more of the same thing whenever you cringe watch her videos. Coming at number 9, That Vegan Teacher. Currently, Katie, aka That Vegan Teacher, has just over 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. She first went viral on TikTok for a song called "Eating Animals is Wrong, McDonald's" back in July of 2020. In September, though, she had come under fire for comments she made regarding organ donation. In a TikTok, she said that she decided there was no way on earth that she would ever want any meat eaters to get her organs if she were to pass. She also recently made a video called "Are You Racist?" in which she uses the N-word as well as other profanity to present a bizarre argument of reclaiming these problematic words. Her content is without a doubt racist, homophobic, and another reason not to trust a vegan, but that's just my opinion. Her brain is clearly lacking proper nutrition, and she should probably quit YouTube so she isn't spreading any more false information. Coming in number 8, Eugenia Cooney. YouTube channels like Creepshow Art as well as her former friend Jacqueline Glenn have criticized her obvious weight loss, and also YouTube for not protecting younger viewers from using Eugenia as thinspo. But Eugenia also apparently needs to protect her younger viewers from her own moderators. When you're a streamer, you have mods, and those mods are there to help a streamer with your community and keep the content PG. But there's some talk on Reddit about Eugenia Cooney's moderators on her Discord server. Apparently a few of them are allegedly predators, 3 of them at least. According to a Reddit thread called "Eugenia Has Skeletons of Predators in her closet," one of them is a former mod that was a registered sex offender. Eugenia was unwilling to ban the mod despite her fans pressuring her to. People claim that Eugenia knew all about him and his past but chose not to remove him as her moderator. A second moderator was also accused of grooming and blackmailing. The Reddit author claims that they were 14 years old at the time and they are still suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder about it, and they also claim that they told Eugenia about it but Eugenia did nothing. Coming in number 7, Nikita Dragun. From James Charles to Jeffree Star, we've witnessed some of YouTube's biggest beauty vloggers not only start their own makeup lines, but open up brick and mortar stores to thousands of screaming fans. For Nikita Dragun, though, she unfortunately caught the moment where she showed up with more people than were actually waiting for her store to officially open. A lot of this failure of a launching event came because fans were confused as to what exactly she would be selling. Before the store's opening, she had only 3 products available in her store, leaving many wondering if that's all that would be in there. To make matters worse, she even photoshopped her poster onto the TV in a photo she took outside of the store, which fans online spotted immediately once looking at the reflection on a nearby store window. Coming in number 6, Austin McBroom. The Ace family has over 18 million subscribers and have become very well known for the pranks that they would play on each other. After taking part in online challenges and overall blogging their day-to-day life, people really started to love the family. Although this family-friendly channel came under fire after the head of the family, Austin McBroom, started acting not so friendly. Austin's first point of backlash has to be when he took his wife's 5-year-old sister into, let's just say, an erotic store, and then he filmed her buying a phallic lollipop. Almost every person was disgusted by this, and their subscribers definitely took a hit. Although by far the thing that got him the most backlash was when he posted to Twitter saying, "Some of y'all are ungrateful for free content. Some of y'all should be charged every time you watch someone's video. I don't know why y'all think it's just so easy to make videos every day or every other day. If it was so easy, everyone including yourself would be doing it." This was met with fire and brimstone on Twitter, and people ripped him up and down account for this statement. He later removed the tweet, but luckily someone had taken a screenshot. Coming in number 5, Onision. Believe it or not, but this guy is actually still posting to YouTube despite the many examples of problematic behavior that he's expressed over the years. He has just over 1.4 million subscribers that keep coming back for his content regardless though. So far all of his channels, because he has more than one, have been demonetized by YouTube, but even that has not stopped him. Creepshow Art even recently put out a video detailing how he is back on YouTube and back to emailing her. Along with several other commentary YouTubers on the platform, he has been consistent with his harassment of these YouTubers who are simply trying to expose him for being the creep that he is. I mean, they did accomplish their goal because you can't even type his name into Google without first seeing all the terrible things that he's done. But even still, he needs to stop. Coming in number 4, Rice Gum. In his first popular video, Rice Gum criticized young social media stars who made their name on the app Musical.ly. He called out the app's biggest stars for the behavior in their Musical.ly videos, which he thought was inappropriate for their ages. This kind of stirring up drama with other YouTubers though is what made people attracted to his content. Along with that, his videos range from diss tracks and whack bars to overly sexualized thumbnails, all leading to his annoying mouth firing off about practically nothing. His mystery box scandal though, that immediately felt fake to anyone that's at an age of critical thinking, and it's most likely what led him to getting a lot of hate. None of his audience members had a problem with him stirring up beef with other YouTubers because they are in a position of power. Although, when you promote gambling to an underage audience and accept the check without looking into the details, that just comes off as evil, dude. Instead of taking full responsibility for what he had done, Rice Gum leans into the claims made against him. He proceeds to shift blame and snitches on other YouTubers who have made similar videos, asking for them to be called out as well. When does that ever work? Never. The answer is never. Coming in number 3, Danielle Cohn. At 15 years old, Danielle was coming for all the views when she posted a series of videos showcasing that she was both pregnant and getting married. Although it wasn't long until her mother pulled a Tekashi 6ix9ine and ratted her out to BuzzFeed. Cohn's mother said that her daughter's wedding was fake and meant to be clickbait, but she did not comment on the pregnancy, so there was also that too. Later on, as the controversy developed and her views skyrocketed, Danielle admitted that the entire thing was manufactured, for which her fans deemed extremely irresponsible, and we agree as well. Especially considering that she has a huge younger fan base of followers, this behavior should be called out immediately, and she should be taken off of YouTube. Coming in number 2, Casey Neistat.
No. We were trying to do a serious thing here, and this is not funny. That's ketchup. Do not be upset. There are children watching. That was not funny. That's totally uncool.
Teaming up with Fox News, Casey and his brother were attempting to show them how easy it was for thieves to steal bikes in New York City. Casey, thinking it would be fun to prank the on-the-street host, ended up really making a fool out of himself. When his brother started using the saw to break the chain around the bike used in this example, Casey shot ketchup onto the ground and dropped as if his neck had been sliced. When no one was laughing and the woman interviewing them began freaking out, he quickly had to stand up, dust himself off, and apologize. And I don't think enough people remember this incident. Last but certainly not least, in our number 1 spot, Ravana.
Llevo aquí más de un mes, pues no aquí, pero sí en Asia, fue a Japón.
What's worse than listening to a vegan tell you about how great they feel is following someone that's famous for that. Giovanna Mendoza, who goes by the name Ravana on YouTube, was famous for her vegan recipes and routines. She often preached how terrific the diet made her feel, which excited her legion of vegan fans. Unfortunately, she was pulling one over on those loyal followers. Her messaging is all about revealing your authentic self and urging her fans to eat fruits and veggies only. Yet when another vlogging friend posted a video of herself eating with Ravana, the raw vegan fans were quick to spot a bunch of fish on the plate in front of her. It was a huge fail that lost her many fans, along with angering those who already didn't like vegan.